This person is obviously somebody who has an embed camper and is looking for a way to secure it. There's two options for this truck. There's the ones that go tie on your frame rail, and there's stake pocket ones. In the video that I did, when I compared the two of them, I told them to go with my choice would be the ones that go on the frame rail, because the stake pocket ones don't seem like they would be as secure. The way beds are made now, they're not like the old ones. So where it goes down in the stake bed pocket, and the clamp that clamps down on the outside here, just seems like putting that much torque on it from the camper is putting a lot of torque on a thin piece of metal here. So over time, I would think it's because the camper's top heavy, we put a lot of pressure on this metal, and eventually it'll end up bending. So tying it to the frame rail is a better way to go.
If you actually attach to the chassis, you're not going to be as top heavy either, right? So you're going to be transferring all of, or at least most of the load of the camper down to the bottom of the vehicle instead. So is that going to help?
It'll be a little less, but I think having an embed camper is tall anyway. So because most of the camper is up, you really don't have a whole lot front to back. A lot of it's going to be up, and you may have a slide out, but I think it would feel a lot more secure driving the vehicle.
That's what I was wondering, is if it's just going to handle better that way.
I think it will. I don't know enough about them. I haven't actually driven them with one of these in it, but that's how I see it. I'd rather have it attached to the frame rail than in the stake pocket.
So then it's like a part of the truck, essentially, when it's attached to the frame.
Yes.
Yeah, it seems like it would be a lot smoother, right?
I mean, it's like a base plate on the car.
So I used to have an embed camper like that, a really old one that was really, really heavy. And when I first got it, I had to get it home, and I didn't have anything mounted on the truck frame. And back then, TorkLift wasn't around, as far as I know. But anyway, I tied it down to the stake pockets, and when I got it home, it was like, that isn't going anywhere till this is right. And then tying it down like TorkLift does it all the way down to the frame and the sides of the hitch is a lot better. And that's how mine ended up. I found some place that built some pieces like this that I had to drill like crazy and install. And then I got it all on there, and it was a lot better experience. But no matter what you do with an embed camper like that, it's so tall that your body roll is going to be really bad. So you're going to want something else too, like airbags or timbrins or something like that to help with it.
Maybe since it's TorkLift, say the stable loads. I don't know.
Stable load.
Yeah. The other thing is, we've got a manufacturer now that has that little square thing you put on the bumper right here. I forget the name of it.
Oh, the Happy Jack?
Happy Jack, yeah. We got those, and then they go in the bed at the front, in between the cab and the bed, and you drill holes in the front of the bed. But these bumpers now are so flexible that doesn't work nearly as well on the back as it used to back in the old days. So they
that scared me
up so much and made things so flexible here that it's not as good. So the torque is definitely the way to go.
Yeah, I'd be interested to know sort of, I mean, some forums shed a little bit of light, but just what makes a customer go with a TorkLift over Happy Jack or Happy Jack over TorkLift. And it might be those bumper anchors.
Installation probably a big one.
What about cost?
And cost, yeah.
I think that might be the big factor. TorkLift is proud of their stuff. I really haven't had a chance to look at how much Happy Jack charges for their stuff, if it's significantly less or not.
It is, but people are really happy with it. It's sort of tried and true, and people recommend it all day. over TorkLift. Not necessarily over TorkLift, but I think people just don't know as much about TorkLift. But it is more expensive for sure.
I think your front tie down on Happy Jack's just as good as it's always been. I don't think you have a problem there. Just the flexibility of the bumpers. And Ford may be one of the stiffer ones. Looking at this one and feeling this one, it seems like it's pretty stiff. But I know Chevrolets are definitely really flexible, as well as the Dodge.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And they're only going to get more flexible, cheaper materials. Yeah.
Fuel mileage and all that's eventually going to affect the bigger trucks too.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, they don't have the same standards as a half-ton truck for fuel mileage and all that.
I guess with the Happy Jacks too, they don't actually attach to the chassis itself. They don't attach underneath the vehicle. They're going to attach like between the cab and the bed. So yeah, it's going to be a sturdier attachment point. I wouldn't necessarily be worried about that, but I'm wondering if it changes anything about the ride quality. Or I think they had mentioned something about shifting. So obviously the camper's not going to shift much in your bed. Like it'd be negligible, but I'm wondering if having it built in that spot is going to keep it from shifting more back and forth than like the TorkLift ones, which are mounted up underneath.
So
or if it's so negligible.
And you'll have to correct me if I'm wrong, because I haven't done a whole lot of research on Happy Jack because we haven't installed them. But I think when you install the Happy Jack, you have a rubber bumper that's inside the bed that when you back into the sliding camper, you can actually it positions it at the right spot. Stops it there. I know with the TorkLift you don't have that. You know, it keeps you from getting it in too far where you're up against the back of your bed and maybe the cab of your truck, and it keeps it from being too far away where it could slide around or whatever as easily.
Okay.
So I'm not, like I said, I don't know for sure.
Yeah, I think you're talking about centering guide locks or something. That's what Happy Jack refers.
Is that an accessory then?
It's on the front anchor plates that like a rubber. It looks rubber. I don't know for sure if it is.
Black pad.
Yeah. It looked like it would, put some friction there to sort of keep it from moving.
I don't think Happy Jack's a bad system at all. Like you said, it's tried and true, been around forever.
Yeah, but they may have to
better.
Yeah, they'll have to consider the rear mounts. They haven't already.
Yeah.
So how was this install? I noticed, reviews mention that it's a pretty quick install. Was that the case?
Basically one bolt on the back ones once you get it put together.
Yeah. You have one bolt that attaches right here, and then the tube actually extends in, so it slides in your your cross tube on your bumper, or your hitch, And it probably goes in, probably at least that far.
Okay. So the rear, that's completely hidden then once those brackets are pulled off of there.
This is the way it would look if you didn't have the arms on it, or the tie downs on it.
Okay.
They're in the front passenger side.
You got two holes, you can put it out that far. Or probably more going to run it into this hole here. And I guess they don't plan on you leaving them in there and running them in farther. I don't know how far in they're going. They don't put a hole here, so I think because the ground is so bad.
Yeah.
I expect you to take it out and store it. Yeah, now you're ready to tie down, and you go from here and up. You tie down from here.
Mm-hmm.
So you're
Did this guy, I'm just curious, did he get turnbuckles too, or did he already have them?
Yeah, he'll have to get them unless he already has them. Did he not buy them with this? So probably an oversight on scheduling.
He may already have them. If he has,
He may already have them.
He
Yeah.
just got a new truck. He may already have the straps.
So yeah, that's another good thing about these is you can use the fast guns, which are
Mm-hmm.
awesome compared to turnbuckles and chains.
Yeah.
I didn't have turnbuckles. I mean, I didn't have fast guns.
Can we take a look at the front as well? Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
These don't require any drilling or anything, so it does make it pretty easy. The only thing that I don't like is it gives you 3 wires, pull wires for these 3 bolts right here. So when you're done with one side, you have to kind of unwind them off of there and hope you don't screw them up because you got to use them on the other side.
Mm.
So there's no crossbar that goes through there, right?
Through
it
here?
should just match.
Right.
Oh, it's actually, there's 3 bolts on the side of the frame. There's one right up here,
Okay.
and then this one here at the bottom.
Yeah, that seems pretty simple.
Yeah.
And the holes were already there.
Yep, the holes are already there. You just feed your bolts in with your pull wires, and what I told them in the video was when you get to these 2 bolts right here, when you go to take off your pull wires, hold it. When you slide on your washer and lock washer, make sure they're holding on to it because they can fall back down on the frame rail. But I told them it might be a good idea to pick up a magnet just in case it does, because you can get them out pretty easily and just start that process over.
Mm-hmm.
And this hole down here where you actually feed the hardware in is probably that big, so it's got plenty of room to get in there.
And then when you take those arms off, does that also sit all the way underneath? Okay.
Yep. And then another thing that makes it nice is it doesn't, it's right on the frame rail, so it doesn't change your height. So you don't really have anything really hanging down where it would cause an issue.
Shouldn't cause any noise or anything.
No. And if it was mine and I put these on, I'd actually cut into that bolt off right there.
So there's no overhang at all, yeah.
Yeah, so you don't have any of that then. But I'm just picky and I don't like to see it.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, folks.
Thanks. Bye, guys.
Okay.
Bye.